Today's illustration's been on my mind for a while, and I ended up doing this version that I'm showing you right now, and I just was not happy with the size. I felt as though I needed to shrink it. So that's exactly what I did. I shrunk the piece and I was a little bit more happier with it. This illustration is about an injection that you can get, and it is called super blood. And I turn this super blood, as you'll see, I turn it into like a galaxy color. And the point of this particular injection is you take it late at night and it basically turns you into something that is like a superhero. And that's basically the concept to this piece, was just to, I don't know, I've been wanting to do like a syringe for a while now. Like I said, I had it on my mind for a while, and yeah, I didn't know sort of what direction to take it in until it sort of felt right, and then I decided to execute it. And I just wanted it to make it like this potion that is just really, really potent. And as soon as you inject yourself with it, and you can only do it at night, it's a night injection, as it says, late night. And then once you inject yourself with it, you become something with superpowers. What superpowers they are, I don't know. Let's say that we can project ourselves through the cosmos and find out all the secrets to the universe. Could you just imagine injecting yourself with the size of this needle? It would be, I don't know, it would hurt really, really bad. Like, I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm not afraid of needles, but I don't know, if someone came at me with the size of this thing, I'm pretty sure I would run for the hills, because I would not want that anywhere near me. So I ended up making the syringe sort of look like a normal syringe, but I made it a little bit chunkier, and then I put these ends on it, as you see, like a sort of a hexagon, or I don't, probably more than that, I can't really tell. Probably an octagon shaped. Just trying to work it out. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So I put these sort of ends on it that are just going to be metal. They're just metal ends, and I colored them in with my chrome marker that I got in a scrawler box, and also do that for the needle part. And then I wanted to not just do a standard syringe top, I wanted to do a skull, so that's what I did. So when you pull the syringe out, you're hanging on to that skull and you're pulling it out from that. So yeah, I wanted to sort of take a little bit of an evil turn, because really, this stuff that you're injecting yourself with, God knows what it's going to do to you. So the first sort of sign of this syringe being a little bit volatile and a little bit unpredictable is the fact that the little, I don't know what you call that thing that you pull out at the top, and then push down to inject the stuff, but that itself is a skull. So that's a good warning sign that this thing is just no good. No good things could come from whatever is in this syringe. So probably the worst thing that I decided to use with this illustration was One, my Mont Marte watercolor paper. I have a love-hate relationship with this paper, and for some reason it still sucks me back in to buy it because it is cheap as shit. So that's why I buy it, and I tend to use it on illustrations that I'm just sort of playing around with, or I'm not sort of really wanting to sort of take a little bit serious. Although this is a piece that I really wanted to turn out well, but I ended up using my Mont Marte paper. And the second bad thing that I did was I decided to use the VIVIVA watercolors. Now, once again as well, I have a love-hate relationship with the VIVIVA watercolors. I think the pigments are beautiful. I think that they are a beautiful watercolor, but I do not like the way that they get all over your hands because of the fact that they're in a book, and it stains. Like I've got to use like alcohol-based rubs, what do you call it, cloths, or an alcohol rub to get the shit off me, and it stains my table as well. And the second thing I don't like about, was it second or third? I've lost track. I've just lost my train of thought. Anyway, the next thing I hate about these VIVIVA, hate's a strong word, we won't use that. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of with these VIVIVAs is that you could have them dry overnight, come back and just nick the edge of some watercolor on your picture if you just wanted to do some shading, or if you want to add another color close to it, it will just bleed. It just reactivates instantly. That's what I have only found. It might not be with everyone, it might just be me, but that's what I've noticed with it. And I've noticed it, this isn't the first time I've noticed it. And it really, the Mont Marte paper and the VIVIVA watercolors really did not play good together, and you can sort of see that by the grainy sort of look that you see, especially in the little tag that says Super Blood. Like it is just, it's just speckly. Like it worked to my advantage, but a lot of that pigment that I mixed together, the darker sort of colors got picked up in the tooth of the paper, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't look really nice. And it sort of gets worse when I color in the background with the dark grey, black grey that comes in the pack too. So yeah, it's not, VIVIVA's not something that I'm a fan of using, and there's probably a lot of people out there that love these watercolors, but I don't know, they're not for me. And like bright colors, like working with bright colors is nice, but see, I don't like working with a really pigmented bright watercolor that's as bright as these ones are. Like they are just, they're ferocious with their saturation. So yeah, it just is, I don't know, you know what I mean. I'm just not sold on VIVIVA at all. The more that I use them, the more issues I come across with the watercolor themselves. So I added some flowers in the background, so basically to suggest that when you do buy this Super Blood, it sort of comes in this lovely sort of presentable way that sort of entices you to want to use it. But then it's sort of like, well, what's gonna happen? What superpowers? Like, let's just say that like superpowers vary amongst the different, like amongst different people. So if you inject this into you late at night, you're not going to get the same superpower as another person, sort of like at the beginning of Deadpool, the first movie, when like you go into that chamber and it activates your superpower and it's all unique to the individual person. Kind of like that. That's what this does. It brings out the superpower that is for you. So the thing I like the least about this illustration is definitely the flowers, because I'm not one for doing a lot of flowers and a lot of leaves. It's not my strong point. It's another thing that I have to work on. So yeah, that's probably about it. And yeah, the rest of it just comes down to the paper and yeah, the VIVIVA watercolors itself. So like all in all, I really enjoyed doing this piece. It was, you know, it was bright, it was colorful. I made a complete mess everywhere. It was all over my face, it was all over my hands, it was just everywhere. It's all over my table. I'm gonna try and clean it off. But other than that, I really enjoyed doing this piece. If you were injected with super blood, what do you think your superpower would be? I'm very curious to know. I think my superpower would be to probably go invisible. I reckon I would have the ability to be invisible. I don't know why, that's just like, when I think of a superpower, I honestly, like, that's the first thing I go to. But like, I would really want to hope that I would get some sort of like sorcery powers or something like that. And when I think about it, it probably would be more sort of sorcery, sort of witch powers, I reckon. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So yeah, what do you think your powers would be? That's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!